Morning everyone, welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Walia Bhatnagar and I'm with you with the area of AFM. So today we are going to talk about accounting and financial management for bankers, and this is the first class for the basics of accounting. That means we are starting from the scratch about accountancy. So from today onwards I'll be starting with the particular series there. In this series I'll be covering up the various chapters. So I'm starting with the first chapter itself of module A. So today we'll be talking about what is accounting, how does the accounting work, why was there a need for accounting, and are there any branches, advantages, disadvantages. So that's something I'll be covering in this particular session along in the form of MCQs. So whatever we are looking forward to, let's start with it. Acha. So here comes the first question, everyone. The first question talks about the area of what is the primary purpose of accounting according to the definition of American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. If I talk about AICPA, na, AICPA had given multiple definitions for different areas. So the basic definition for accountancy is also given by them, which is widely accepted. In their definition, they have talked about the um, process of accounting, what exactly accounting is, which includes, first of all, identifying things, whether it belongs to the business or not. Then the further point, when we are classifying it, then we are recording it, then we are, first of all, we are recording it, then we are classifying it, then we are analyzing it, then we are communicating whatever we have decided. कि अच्छा, this is our interpretation, and then we are putting it in front of people. कि देखिए, the books of accounts looks like this, and this is what has happened. So according to us, this would be the situation. According to the accounting of this particular scenario, this is the ultimate output that is coming up. Now the point comes is, what is the primary purpose of accounting according to the definition of AICPA? To manage the human resources, to communicate business results with financial health, to create the artistic financial statements, or to classify and summarize the non-financial statements. See, when we talk about AICPA, AICAP has prepared the entire definition even, which ends with communication. We communicate whatever our books of accounts looks like to the ultimate users. So the ultimate users can see it ki whatever we are doing in the business. So when we talk about this area, the correct answer would be to communicate the business results and the financial health. We're trying to share the particular financial health with the people ultimately. So in this case, the correct answer would be to communicate the business results and the financial health. Here comes the next question. Just a moment. Okay, I hope the question is visible. According to Kizo and Wayhand, what are the key aspects of accounting? First is a service activity providing quantitative financial information and analytical discipline, defining, measuring, classifying, and summarizing the data, and information system collecting and communicating economic information, one, two, three, or all of the above. So when we talk about Kiso and Wayhand, they have also given a definition of accounting. So, as per their accounting definition, what is the point that they are covering? A service which is quantitative in nature, an analytical disciplines which defines the analytical way of working, or it is an information system collecting and communicating economic information, then or all of the above. So overall, if I say, it's actually all of the above, considering the facts. First of all, you get the information. That means you're looking at the quantitative and financial information. First of all, you identify, then you measure, then you classify, then you summarize. Okay? Then you collect the information, and ultimately you have to communicate it. You have to tell the people, "Na, this is my books. These are my books of accounts." So that's what you cover in this. Okay. So the correct answer is all of the above. Okay. So, next point, how does the area of bookkeeping differ from accountancy? How does it differ from accountancy, everyone? When we talk about the area of bookkeeping, how is it different from that of accountancy overall? They aren't the same, na? See, bookkeeping is the base. Through bookkeeping, we record the books of accounts. Through accountancy, we do not, we actually, the recording which is already done, that is, the recording of the books of accounts which is already done, is evaluated through accountancy. So basically, the first step to the accountancy is the area of bookkeeping. Okay. So the first point would be, how does the bookkeeping differ from accountancy? The first step to the accounting area is bookkeeping. Bookkeeping talks about the area where they say that we are recording everything from scratch. Journal, ledger, trial balance. First of all, we are trying to find out whether it belongs to the business or not. What are we exactly talking about? And then accountancy is basically the next level of it. So bookkeeping includes accountancy. Accountancy includes bookkeeping. Both are the same, or neither includes the other. So in this case, the correct answer would be accountancy includes bookkeeping. In actual, now there are three levels. In our book, where they've talked about bookkeeping and accountancy only, but there are 3 points. First is bookkeeping, second is accounting, third is accountancy. So, in the first point, bookkeeping is noting the books of accounts. Accounting is noting down the process in terms of the financial statements. And when we have noted the financial statements as well, the next level is accountancy. Accountancy talks about the books in such a way that they're talking about the fact that accountancy would be the knowledge that you have accumulated over the period of time. Okay, so this is the point. Batch everyone, from today onwards, we are starting with our AFM batch for May 2024 as well. So, if you are looking forward to it, then kindly go ahead and be there in the first class that will be starting at 7 a.m. Okay. The same is going to be shared in our official YouTube channel as well. Just after this class ends, the session will also start. So kindly be there at 7 a.m. Okay. So in this case, I'll be giving you the orientation, what exactly the syllabus is and how do we cover all those important things regarding the particular exam. Okay. So if possible, then kindly go ahead and join the session. Let's work together upon AFM, because ultimately JIB has made the examinations um, more, I would say, they have, I won't say they are making it more difficult or something, they're just making it more detailed. So when we are making the examination more detailed, that means the person has to give more time to it. We have around 35 chapters in this particular area. Then again, the module is little big, and at the same time we have numericals as well, we have practical portion in it. So it's better that if you are looking forward to it, then kindly start a little early, so that when you start before time, then before you enter the tedious time of March or April, when you are going through the closing of the year and also the auditing period, then you are not worried about ki acha I have to cover the syllabus as well. You just have to look forward towards your revision. So I believe if you're looking forward to it, then kindly join it at this point of time itself. So what you can do is you can take up our courses and you can be there in my classes. So for that, what you can do is you can use the code Y541 and get the maximum discounts that are available. Okay, so that is something which you can do. I'll just show you the entire portion. Normally the discount would be available from at around 78%, but since there are the weekend was there, so that up to 81% discounts are also available. So if you are looking forward to it, then kindly do not delay, and at the same time download the app as well. If you download the app now, then you get additional points because you are doing the other things, and you get coins accumulated. From the coins accumulated and the course discount, then you can get more discounts, right? And at the same time, it is also helpful in attending the class as well. Then you don't have to worry about reaching out to your nearest laptops or something else for attending the class. You can just sit with your phone and attend the class in an easy manner, right? Chaliye. Now moving on to the next question. What do the financial statements typically include. The term financial statements includes the balance sheet, profit and loss account, explanatory statements. It includes the cash flow statements and schedules, or the statement of changes in financial position. As such, na financial statement includes all of these. First of all, it is actually the sequence in which they write it. First of all, they show the balance sheet and P&L. Okay, and the explanatory statements, whatever the books of accounts they have given, the disclosures would be shown in the explanatory statements. Then cash flow statement and schedules. The cash flow statements and schedules are those in which we are covering the area of cash flows, talks about inflow and outflow, and the schedules talks about the area of the detailing of each and everything. The total of debtors, what are account receivables. They're going to be in very detailed format. We'll be talking about all these different things in the classes itself. But when we talk about schedules, and this is the explanatory details of all the accounts which are clubbed together. So if I've written one particular total, the detail of that total is shown in the schedules. So yes, this is also shown. Plus the statement of changes in financial position. Financial position, this is basically related with the area of equity. If I have put money into the business, then obviously I am worried about the position of the money in the organization. So then I would like to know who else have become a shareholder of the organization and how is it affecting our working all together. So then the next point would be all of the above. So all of these together are a part of it. Comes the next question. Who are the users of financial statements as the just a moment. I was thinking to make a case study or something. So go ahead and now answer this question. Who are the users of the financial statements, everyone? See, there are multiple people who are the users of पता है अच्छा within the organization even you are using it. The person who is not a part of the organization, even they are also worried about it, है ना? So when we talk about users are the people who have either invested the money or thinking to invest the money, or they have to collect tax from us. So these people are definitely worried कि अच्छा whether their money would be recovered from the organization itself or not. So in this case, what will they do? They will try to look at the books of accounts of the organization. So in this case, can we ask the person who are the users of financial statements? Only shareholders and investors. Then government authorities, shareholders, investors, business associates, then directors, banks, financial institutions, only directors and banks, and only government authorities. Acha, when we talk about the users, na, who are the users? Users can be internal, that is who are sitting within the organization, and then the second one can be external. Internal users and external users. Internal users would include the financial statements would be evaluated by the management, the employees. These people are always worried about it. External would include the government authorities. Government authorities is interested in knowing whether you are making any mistake or not, for the shareholders, for the purpose of investors, for the purpose of business associates. Then in case of directors, right, directors are basically internal users, so I think everything else can be fitted in the area of external users. Then banks as well as the area of financial institutions. So these are all external users, the people who are sitting outside the organization and are a bit nosy for the organization. What is the organization doing? Are they making good money or not? It is important indeed. See, if I am giving money to an organization for investment, the organization is not doing good, why would I give money to them? Rather, that would be such a troublesome thing for me कि अरे I've given money to them, पता नहीं if the money comes back or not. So it's gonna hit my mind every now and then. So it's way better that we are working in this organization. Then the organization people would be interested in knowing अच्छा whether I'll make the increment or not. Is the organization doing good or not? Shall I stay in this organization? Shall I move out? Right? So because they have their career associated. So internal users are interested in knowing the reality of the organization. Management is interested in knowing because they have to prove themselves. And external users are, they have different motives. If I am a potential user, I am like maybe in future I want to invest in this organization. So I'm a potential user, I want to know about the organization. Government authorities are interested ki acha, is there anything illegal going on? No, it's fine then. Shareholders are interested because they are the organization itself. है ना. Investors are also interested because they are investing money into the organization. Business associates are basically the people who are associated with us. They want to know whether we are financially healthy or not. Otherwise, they will have to leave the association and think about something else. Directors, as we know, they're internal. Then comes banks are interested in knowing, because if the bank has given loan to the person, so the bank is worried about whether they will receive the money back or not. Financial institutions are definitely interested because if they're investing their money or they have given the loans, they would be worried about the same as well. So overall in this area, these are the different users who are interested in the books of accounts. The answer would be B. Okay. Government authorities, shareholders, investors, business associates, directors, banks, as well as financial institutions. Here comes the next question, everyone. What is the primary purpose of the financial statements in accounting? What is the primary purpose? To entertain users, or to communicate the financial results and performance, or to record day-to-day events, or to summarize the business transactions? See, the primary purpose of the financial statements would be to entertain the users. um, it's not about entertainment. The primary purpose of the financial statements cannot be entertaining the people, right? Regarding their queries and everything. Then to communicate the financial results and performance, to record day-to-day active events. See, we are not talking. Acha, there is one more thing. If you'll see, there is something called event and there is something called transaction. Are these two things same? In terms of organization, in terms of English, I would say yeah, they're both same. But what if I say they are not? Events and transactions are not the same. If I talk about events, events can be stated as something in which we are having um this is the ultimate result. Transactions are like this happened, that happened. We have different transactions happening in the business. They are transactions. When something has a result, we have a profit, we have a loss, this is my closing stock, this is my opening stock, that is my result. So there's a difference between event and results. So if I would say the crux of the entire financial statements is actually to communicate the financial results and performance. This actually includes all the other things, if you can see. Recording is covered in it because till the time you won't record, how will you tell others? You won't summarize, how will you tell others? To entertain users, the users are going to come and poke you every now and then. Get cha, what is happening in the business? Provide us the details. So, how do we do it? We communicate with them. That is the ultimate aim. So, the answer is B. Okay, here comes the next question. The next question says, what is the rules and criteria governing the recording of transactions, events in accounts known as accounting principles, financial rules, then business standards or grammar rules? If we talk about the accounting, in accounting we have accounting principles. There is no financial rules. We do not have rules like there's a red light and you cannot cross it or something. In accountancy, see, accountancy is recording the books of accounts and everybody does it on their own, right? They have their own ways of noting it down. So in this case, one thing is absolutely clear, that they have accounting principles and they have accounting policies. Policies are like frameworks and principles are basically the conceptual way through which you can learn accountancy. Okay, so that's all about the basics. Next is, what is the purpose of systematic classification of business transactions? Why do we do it systematically? To confuse the users, obviously that won't be the point. To organize the recording, this can be the point. To discourage bookkeeping, no. To eliminate the need for financial statements, we know there is a need for financial statements. That is why we have to do it. You know, so we have to organize the data. Till the time we do not organize the data, how will we get the ultimate answer? You know. Then comes, what is the art of recording, classifying, summarizing transactions known as in accounting. First is business analysis, then we have financial management, then we have bookkeeping, and the last one is accounting. So in this case, what would be the answer? In terms of what is the art of recording? In this case, this entire definition. See, till the time it is only about recording, it is bookkeeping. When you are covering all these things, this is actually the definition of AICPA defined in this question. Na? This is the definition of AICPA. According to them, it is an art. So then, why is it called an art? Because everybody records the things in their own manner. For example, I might be saying that, "Arey, buying this pen is not an expense for me. This is something which I use in my profession. So then, probably this is something I won't call an expense. From this, I earn." For someone, they might be buying it for the sake of it that they wanted one, and they're not even using it. For them, it's just an expense they're paying for. You know? So obviously, people would look at things from their business perspective, from their own personal perspective. So in this case, one thing is clear, that it is an art. Everybody deals with it differently. Then comes the area of business analysis. Then we have financial management, bookkeeping, or accounting. So this one's gone, this one's eliminated, this one is also, it is D. Okay, the answer would be accounting. Then, why does accounting express transactions in terms of money? Money is more valuable than other forms of measurement. It makes recorded data more meaningful. It satisfies legal requirements. Money is the only acceptable currency in accounting. Okay, when we talk about money now, money is a legal tender through which we purchase and sell things. Na? This is the source through which we are doing all that. So if I talk about money now, money is not something which is more valuable than others, but yeah, in terms of money, I can say it becomes the basis of exchange. So it makes recorded data more meaningful. It gives meaning to the entire working there. Next question. What types of events and transactions does accounting record? Acha, we have just talked about events now and transactions. If I say I sold goods, I purchased goods, those are transactions. And when I said I sold goods, I purchased goods, and I made a profit, or by the end of the year, this is my closing stock. When I talk about the closing stock, opening stock, and all those sort of things, then I would be calling it all events regardless of nature. Only events then will be resultant would be called event. Okay, now this is about the event there. Events, all events are recorded. I won't say that. If I said that I purchased something, okay, I purchased a sunscreen for my regular usage, and I bought a can of oil for my business. So the can of oil would go into my business expense, while the sunscreen will not go. That's my personal expense, right? So all events are not recorded, regardless of nature. Only events related to the technology, only events related to the financial in nature, and only events with high monetary value. A business will record even 2 rupee transaction, because it has to. Bank charges, if they are very small in number, and then it is more in number, we'll have to record it. Then but there is one fact. I cannot record something that how are you? I'm good. Can you record being good in books of accounts? No. You can record that someone is of this age, you have got an insurance premium for that particular person. This is the amount of premium he can pay. You know, but you cannot record his nature. So in this case, one thing is sorted, that only the events that are financial in nature are recorded. And that too belonging to the business. This can be added further, that relates to the business. So the answer is only events which are financial in nature are recorded in our books of accounts. Sorry. Okay, let's continue. What does the accounting do with record of business transactions or events? Forgets about it. It cannot does that. It cannot do that, right? Then it interprets the financial data. Then it deletes them from the records or ignores them in business decision making. when we talk about the accounting records. Sorry, in this case, the answer would be what does the accounting do with recording of business transaction? It would basically interpret the financial data. Okay, it would be doing B. Okay, so that's it for the day, everyone. I hope this session was helpful for you. If it was, then don't forget to like the session, and at the same time, share the session with your peers. And at the same time, I'm just going to start my session at 7 a.m. So kindly be there at 7 a.m. for the first class of AFM. And if you find it useful, go ahead and enroll in in the particular course as well, right? So let me show you, if you're looking forward to it, then where you can find it. Morning, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Niharika Valia Bhatnagar, and I am with you with the era of JIIB, Accounting and Financial Management for Bankers. And today I'm going to talk about again the basics of accounting. We had started with the first chapter. First of all, if the session turns out to be helpful for you, don't forget to like it. And at the same time, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, then kindly go ahead and do the same as well. And along with this, if you haven't reviewed our app yet, then kindly go ahead and check it out. Currently, we are coming up with double validity. At this point of time, double validity is available on our courses, and that too at 81% discount. You can use the code Y541 to get the maximum discounts and the double validity on our Mahapacks. For that, what you can do is go ahead and review the same on our app, or in the website, on the website or in the app, whatever you feel like. Go ahead and check it out both. The If you go ahead and download the app, it is way better because you get accumulated points for that. But because once you are doing that, you get coins in the app system. So that is available. So let's start with the session today. As I told you, we were talking about the basics. In the last class, I discussed a specific area, that was accounting, bookkeeping, and accountancy. These were the three things that we did, right? So how do we deal with it? First is bookkeeping. Second is accounting. Third is accountancy. Recording the books of accounts purely, we are not thinking, we are just recording, is recording. In terms of accounting, what we are doing is we are processing the data. That means we are analyzing, interpreting. While when we keep on accumulating the data over the period of time, that is called accountancy. Accumulation of data. Okay, so that is covered here. So in this case, what do we cover in terms of this area? What does the accounting do with the record business transactions or events? Forgets about them. If accounting forgets about them, then I wish it would have happened. But these are really important when it comes to auditing, in terms of depositing the information to the income tax department. So yes, these are very, very important things to note down. Then is forgets about them, then is interprets the financial data, then is deletes them from the records, or ignores them in decision making. What would this particular thing do? What does accounting do with the recording of business transactions? When it comes to accounting now, it interprets the financial data. It would look at the financial data, would interpret the same, because ultimately now, see, if I tell you that pata hai, I have given the JIB examination and my score is PPB, AFM, IEWS, IA and FS, and the last one is RBWM. These are the four subjects that I've given the examination for. I scored 48 in PPB, but in AFM I scored 60. In IEW and FS I have scored say 57, and in RBWM my score was let's say 52. So this is what, when you are looking at just this, what do you get out of it? मतलब you are just looking at the fact कि अच्छा ठीक है, in almost all the subjects the score is more than 50, and I would have given all these examinations at one point of time only. So that means I am considering one particular. Now I'm interpreting. This was data only. Huh? So now we are looking at it. We are deciding कि अच्छा among this data, what I'm doing is this is the entire portion where I talk about okay, my score is 48, then my score is 60, then my score is 57, then my score is 52. This means I am above 45 in all the papers and I've given all the papers together. One thing sorted, कि ठीक है, one criteria is done. I am above 45. Now the second point is that I've whether my aggregate is more than 50% or not. Now the point is, if there are 4 exams, that means 400 marks are required. And if 400 marks are required, my score comes out to be 217, more than 50%. That means my JIB is cleared. Now when I'm saying that, I'm sorry, that my JIB is cleared, this means this 217 is my total marks. This is where I would say कि this is interpreting. And then when I'll go and tell other people कि पता है I've cleared JIB. Now that is communication. I'm going to tell people that yes, I've cleared the examination. That is communication. When we are recording the data, when I was just recording 48, 60, 57, 52, that was bookkeeping. Then I started looking at the criteria. Acha, this much marks, acha, that much marks, or interpreting it. Ki, haan, theek hai, this is my marks. After JIB, then I went for CIB. I cleared the CIB as well. After that, I was also looking forward towards the various bank promotion examinations relating to my field. So I gave that examination. Then I thought, ki, nahi, bank certifications are also required. IIBF certification is what I look forward to. So I have decided that this is what I want. Now I've got all this information. Now someone is asking me, ma'am, what are your prospects in the field of banking there? I said I've done JIB, I've done CIB, I've given the bank promotion papers, and then I've also done a few IIBF certifications. Now that is accountancy, accumulation of multiple things. है ना? So when we talk about this era, you don't forget about them. You interpret the data. है ना? That is bookkeeping, accounting, and accountancy. So in this case, the correct answer would come out to be interpretation of the financial data. Interprets the financial data. Acha, next question. Which of the following, which one of the primary purposes of accounting, which is one of the primary, just a moment, I think I'll just have to paraphrase a bit. What is the primary? What is one of the primary purposes of accounting? Yeah, now that makes sense. If I look at the point, the primary purpose cannot be entertainment. It cannot be artistic expression, though accounting is an art. That is true. But it is not even random decision making. It is systematic record keeping. I'm going to keep the record in a systematic manner because I'm going to tell people about what my books exactly look like. है ना? Simple sorted technique. So in this case, the correct answer would come out to be systematic record keeping. Okay? We are not keeping the records in a random format. There is a proper way or a format of doing the thing. So we would like to achieve the goals through the formats. What financial statement helps in ascertaining the profit or loss of a business during a specific period? Balance sheet, cash flow statement, trading in P&L, or income and expenditure account. When we are looking at this, what financial statement helps in ascertaining the profit and loss account? Acha, when it comes to financial statements, then what will happen during a specific period? When you're preparing the financial statements for a specific period, then only in terms of profit and loss. Balance sheet tells about the net worth. You remember we were talking about it. If you would have seen the movie Diwar, I believe that was a movie of Amitabh Bachchan, and I think Mr. Shashi Kapoor was also there. So they were talking about it. One of them says ki, I have a bungalow, I have a car. What do you have? The other one would say, in that particular movie, that was that I have my mom with me, or you can say कि उनके पास उनके mother थे. So basically they were just valuing their mother more than the accumulated wealth. That was the point, which clearly specifies a balance sheet even. So randomly someone says कि Hanji, what about your business? Is it doing well or not? Then you will be like, hold on, my capital in the business is this much. with this money that I've made this particular thing. So business is going good. Huh? That is balance sheet. Then comes the area of cash flow statement, which talks about inflow and outflow of funds. Then trading and profit and loss account talks about the profit and loss of the organization. There is nothing in terms of income and expenditure account. So I can say in this case the correct answer would be C, trading and profit and loss account. Then what is considered as a barometer of the financial health of a business? But now what do you mean by barometer? Barometer is basically something which measures. So measuring of an organization's health. Now that is something that if I look at my body there, how do you testify? How do you check that whether the body is healthy or not? You will check the temperature, then you would look forward towards various blood tests, what is the HP level and everything else. In a business, they do not have this kind of vitals that we have. Their vitals is you ask me money. You said that, ma'am, we needed 1,000 rupees. And I said, sir, just a moment. I think I'll have to make an arrangement. So you will be astonished for the moment ki hold on. Why does she need so much of time to get 1,000 rupees? That doesn't make sense. You know, that will make you feel ki nahi, there is something missing or there is something fishy about this organization. So in this case, what will you say? Is it the income and expenditure account? No. It is the cash flow statement. Cash flow statement. It is named itself. Ki, acha, theek hai, this talks about inflow and outflow of funds. But that doesn't seem like the answer. Trading in profit and loss account is again talking about the profit or loss made by the company during the year. That is not something that we look forward to. So in this case, the correct answer would be the balance sheet. ठीक है ना? Balance sheet is talking about मेरे पास क्या क्या है. I have bungalow, I have car, I have plant and machinery, I have this amount of share capital. This is the accumulated profit that my business has made. Now that is how I'm telling about the health of my business. So in this case, the correct answer would be the balance sheet. Right? Chaliye. Now comes the next question. What is the main function of accounting in facilitating rational decision making? Creating artistic financial statements, providing financial information, ignoring financial data, avoiding decision making. What is the main function of accounting? But accounting plays a very important role. But what does it do? It creates an artistic financial statements. It is providing financial information, or I won't say it provides artistic financial statements. They are not making drawings. They are providing the information, but in terms of artistic, somehow they say interpretation can come out to be that one organization would work accordingly in such a way कि um, artistic is basically personalized application. मतलब if I feel कि नहीं this is my expense and you feel nah this is my investment, so this is where you and I will vary. That is, in both the books we are recording it. In my books I am recording it. Your books you are recording it. But ultimately, you something that I might treat as an expense, you might say Nini, this is my future source of income. So that is something which we can see. Providing financial information, this is the basic function of accounting. Pata. Accountancy is basically something which provides us it expresses the financial statements. As soon as you open up the financial statements, you're like, acha, 10,000 rupees gone there, 10,000 rupees received. Now, that is the clarity it brings. So, in this case, it is something that provides the financial information. Okay, here comes the next question, which says that why do entities such as companies and public trusts maintain accounts? Okay, why would an organization maintain account? What's the reason? Why would an organization do this? When we talk about why do entities such as companies and public trusts maintain accounts to entertain stakeholders, to satisfy legal requirements, to confuse investors, or to avoid decision making, this is basically done to satisfy the legal requirements. it was required by all the companies to prepare the books of accounts, and their books of accounts are prepared as per section 129 of Income Tax Act 19 Income Tax Act 2013. Earlier there was another act of companies which existed before 2013, that was the Companies Act 1956. So that is something I was somehow saying, because automatically the previous act was 56 and then new was introduced in 2013. So in this case, this is the legal requirement. It is required by law that you do this. Okay? Acha, next question. We have assertion and we have reasoning. Financial statements serve as the principal source of information about the economic activities of an enterprise. Users with limited authority, ability, resources rely on the financial statements of the for economic decision making. Okay. First is financial statements are principal source of information. Indeed, they are. If I feel that I would like to know what happens in the business, then what will I do? I look at the books of accounts. Okay, the organization is making a profit, then probably they are going good. Okay, the organization is making a loss. This means there is something problematic in the organization. You know? Then is reasoning is users with limited authority. Maybe there are certain shareholders who are not allowed to look at the books of accounts. They would be learning about various types of shareholders, or the outsiders are not allowed to look at the financial books before they are approved. You know, the ability or resources rely on financial statements for economic decision making. Users with there are certain people who have limited authority. They would always rely on the financial statements, key whether the organization is going good or going bad, and that will determine whether we should continue with the investments in the organization or not. In this case, the correct answer would be both are true. Both are correct. And even the reasoning is also correct. Okay. In the examination, you get these kind of questions. You will get a question related to the area of reasoning and assertion. Then comes the next point. When we talk about this area, we have the assertion and the reasoning. The balance sheet helps in ascertaining the financial position of the business, including the availability of cash, assets, as well as liabilities. A balance sheet is comparable to a doctor feeling the person's pulse to determine their health. We talked about it just now that the balance sheet shows the health of the organization. It's the barometer of the same, isn't it? So when we talk about the balance sheet, um, when the doctor is asking someone to breathe in and breathe out, that is where they come to know whether there's any chest congestion or not. Same thing happens in the business. If you find major losses accumulated in the balance sheet, the very first thing you will say, this organization is doomed. Probably it's dying. It's of no use to invest in this organization. But if you do not know these books of accounts, you invest in it, then what will happen? You will face losses, which is not worth it. So the balance sheet is comparable to a doctor's feeling of the pulse is correct. The balance sheet helps in financial position. Acha, there are 2 points up. When we talk about financial position and when we talk about financial performance. Position is balance sheet and financial performance is uh, profit and loss account. So these are the two accounts that is prepared. Basically, balance sheet is a statement while profit and loss is an account. We'll be studying about the difference between the statement and accounts in the upcoming classes as well. Acha, both assertion and reasoning are true. Reasoning is correct. The assertion is not. In this case, I would never say that any of these are wrong. Basically, what when you talk about the financial health of the organization, it is always shown by the things which this organization would have accumulated over the period of time. This shows the financial strength or health of the organization, right? Now comes the next point. In which phase of accounting did the concept of double entry bookkeeping originate? Cost accounting, financial accounting, stewardship, or management accounting? When we talk about the phase in which the double entry of bookkeeping originates, it originated in 1494 AD by Lucas Bartolomeo de Piccoli. There are different names that you will find him of Bartolomeo Piccoli. He's the person behind this particular entire process of accounting. That is why he's known as the father of accounting. So in this case, the correct answer is going to be double entry bookkeeping is a part of financial accounting. Cost accounting talks about the money that you spend to make something. Stewardship is basically one particular person who manages your books of accounts. So he's a steward. You give all the information to him because you feel that the person is reliable. Now, this is something which Raja Maharaja do. They used to have the landlords used to have it, actually, not Raja Maharaja. In our country, we have Raja Maharaja, but when it comes to zamindars and landlords, which were very having a lot of properties outside India, specifically in the area of England, Europe, and all, there was a particular person called steward who used to cater all these people. Their books of accounts, ki what is happening in their books of accounts. So stewardship can be a trust-based accounting, right? The both of these parties have trust over each other that none of them would be doing any kind of fraud. So in this case, the correct answer is, oh, I'm sorry. In this case, in which phase of accounting did the actually na it originates in stewardship, and it is basically furnished, or the finishing touch of it is given in financial accounting. It starts with original origin of the entire accounting starts from steward only. That is the point. Okay. So I did one particular mistake. The answer is stewardship. Okay. Now let's move on and talk about the next question. What is the primary purpose of financial accounting? Tracking the property ownership, mobilizing savings and profitable investments, orderly records of the business transactions, or industrial revolution. Industrial revolution became the reason that these people had to record the books of accounts, because there was a requirement. Whatever is happening in the books of accounts is clearly stated. So in this case, yeah, this had to be done. So but when we talk about the primary function, it was basically related to the area of purely mobilizing the savings and profitability, the profitable investments. Okay, so this is the last question for the day. I hope it was helpful. But before I end my session, have you reviewed our courses yet? If you haven't, then let's check it out. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Officer 24/7. My name is Nehar Kavalia Bhatnagar, and I'm with you with the area of JAIB AFM. Okay, so we were continuing with the area of basics of management. I am taking it further. I hope I'm audible as well as clearly visible. Chali. So let's continue further. We were talking about this topic now, the basics of accounting. This is the first question. That is, what is the primary purpose of record keeping or bookkeeping in the accounting? Is it to maximize the profit, or to ascertain the financial position, or to facilitate the decision making, or systematically record business transactions? See, bookkeeping is not that wide, I would say. This is not something that broad or that bigger in terms of scope, that it is covering multiple things. It can be just related to one thing, that is to record a few things, right? It cannot be more than that. Bookkeeping doesn't analyze, it doesn't summarize, it doesn't do any of those things. It just records things systematically so that we can understand the books of accounts, right? So in this case, the correct answer is to maximize the profit. No, in bookkeeping, you cannot increase the profit to a certain the financial position, not even exactly that. They are just into recording. Then to facilitate the decision making, you cannot help in decision making at all till the time you are not doing something where you are thinking about it. Again, you are just plain recording. That is to systematically record the business transaction. So that is the point that I'm talking about. D matches with what we have, right? Let's continue further. Which financial statements helps in determining the profit or the loss of the business during a specific period? Balance sheet, income statement, trading and P&L, or cash flow. The financial statement which is helping at one point of time, right? Financial statement which is helpful at one point of time itself. What would it be? Balance sheet, in terms of that is to profit and loss account. Not talking about the net worth of the organization. We talked about it yesterday even. The financial statements of an organization can be divided into three parts. This is something which I've covered in the paid class as well. So if you have reviewed the paid class, then it's cool. If you haven't, then please go ahead and check it out. That would be number one is balance sheet. The balance sheet talks about the net worth. Then comes profit and loss account, which is basically profit and loss account talks about whether the organization is making a profit or a loss, right? So this talks about business performance, and net worth talks about business position. Along with this, they make statement of changes in equity or cash flow statement. Both of these are prepared. With the higher organizations where they have multiple shareholders, they need, excuse me, statement of changes in equity. This is required in bigger companies where they have a lot of shareholders, and especially in public companies where it keeps on changing. So they have to keep an eye on the number of people who are there as a shareholder. Then the last one is after these three, the fourth one is cash flow statement. So the cash flow statement is all about the inflow and outflow of cash. So when we're talking about profit and loss, the name is written here itself, right? The trading and profit and loss account. Acha, then what's the difference between trading and profit and loss account and income and expenditure account, right? So if you're looking at the entire question, you should always look at the other options as well. Income and expenditure account also seems similar. That's because income and expenditure account is prepared in NPOs or NGOs, not for profit organizations, also called Section 8 companies under Companies Act 2013, right? So in this case, the correct answer is C, and B is for NPOs. They also prepare the profit and loss, but the point is they are not after money. They are not trying to develop something out of that. So basically, they are not called business oriented organizations. They are just working for it so that they can generate enough, and so that they can donate it further or utilize it in their trust itself, right? So in this case, that is why that is not called income, and that is not called profit and loss account. They're not making any profit. They're not making any losses. Okay, so let's move on further. It is, how do the financial statements act as a barometer of a financial health? Barometer. We talked about it in the previous class even, है ना? When we talk about um, the financial statements which act as a barometer, it by analyzing the profits, by examining the assets and liabilities, by evaluating the decision making process, or by predicting the cash flows. How do you do that? Basically, financial statements can be called as a barometer because it checks on the financial position, financial performance of the organization. See, if I'm noting down everything now, then I would be rechecking it. I would be noting it down, and then I'll be noting it down. So it'll be more vigilant about the things, you know. So by, it doesn't really predict the cash flows. It doesn't really evaluate the decision making process, or by examining the assets and liabilities, or by analyzing profits. When we talk about the financial statements now, they help you to understand the overall the organization's all the assets, all the liabilities. Matlab, what do you have? For example, if I look at the balance sheet, I can tell you कि देखिए, the organization has good money. It is having this much of assets, this much of liabilities. This is the capital which is invested in them, and I believe the organization is making good money. You know, so how do you prove it? Sometimes the bankers are going to come to you and say कि हाँ जी, I don't find this organization earning a lot. So what do? They say नहीं नहीं, the organization earns a lot. Then show it to us. So when you have to show it, then we'll have to show the books of accounts. So it would be B. What role do the financial statements play in rational decision making for a business? They provide legal information, they provide guidelines for employee management, they supply financial information for decision making, or they determine taxation procedure. What role do financial statements play in rational decision making? Acha, rational decision making means when we are looking forward towards making some um, collaborations, when we are trying to understand what exactly the organization looks like, what are we looking forward towards the organization. मतलब basically na, rational would be if the organization is thinking about, say, increasing its work, it is thinking to increase its operations. Everybody looks forward to it, you know. So when they're trying to use it, so what would be the point in this case? The point is, when you look at the books of accounts, they are, they supply the financial information. Legal information, basically it is now legal even. This is a requirement of the law कि देखिए, you have to prepare your books of accounts, but this preparation maintenance is limited to only certain organizations for which it is compulsory. For rest it is not compulsory, so they are just preparing it for the sake of it, that they need loans, you know. You need loans, you will have to pay it. That is one of the things there. So the answer is this, they supply financial information for decision making. Then, what is the origin of accounting as a social study according to the historical perspective? Acha, in the historical perspective, it was really interesting. As per the historical perspective, it was given by a particular person called Luca Bartolomeo de Piccioli, who was basically an Italian. He started in 1494 AD. And matlab, every book has given it its name in a different way. So in our book, it is given as Luca Bartolomeus. So basically, there are different names by which the particular person is known as. He's also known as Friar Luca. So basically, there are different names given to him. So he started it back in 1494. At that point of time, the concept of accounting was a little different, I would say. It has not changed over the period of time. It has just been modified. There is nothing called change. We can change the format, but the concept is still the same. The development of large scale businesses in the 1494 80 1500, there was nothing called large scale business, at least in the European and American area, the industrialization started coming in this area, but not really. They were looking forward to it, but I think if I look at it, then after 16th, 17th AD, they had it, the particular industrialization took in terms of mechanization manner, no? That happened way after. So the advent of joint stock companies, joint stock companies are basically companies which combine together and they're working well, right? They are just individual corporations which are generating their funds. Then the use of money even under the barter system or the introduction of double entry bookkeeping. When we look at the social study, social means people are talking to each other, people are working with each other. That is the use of money even when under the barter system. Basically, now, when we talk about social study, it is basically related to this, the use of money even under the barter system. Basically, now they started preparing a financial statements, and yes, now you can even record the point of how do you pay it off. Did you pay it through the goods or something, or did you pay it through the cash? So basically, these kind of things are now recorded in terms of book of accounting. So there are no chances of any kind of frauds and manipulations till the time people don't do it directly. The books of accounts do not have any kind of I would say that kind of limitation here. We cannot show it at all. There is a way of showing it. Chaliye. Now the next question is in context with the historical evolution. We're talking about the historical evolution in this case. If we look at the historical evolution, the what is the fundamental concept of stewardship accounting? Stewardship accounting was, do you know, when in the era of the landlords, in the era of Europe, they used to have a particular person called steward. Steward used to maintain the land revenues of the landowners of those areas. So in European area, you would always find that these kind of things existed. You know, people had extremely big lands, but how will he remember what kind of things he had, and how will he remember what kind of land he had, and again, what income he was making out of it? So he kept a trustworthy person. That trustworthy person, I'm sorry, that trustworthy person was called steward. So that is how the stewardship, the first type of accounting which came into the light. So stewardship accounting is basically managing financial debts, orderly recording the business transactions, annual income statements or liability of the shareholders. When we talk about the stewardship accounting is limited only to recording about their businesses. At that point of time, it was about the landowners and their revenues. So this is how the historical perspective of stewardship accounting started. Stewards is basically linked with the word trust. So they trusted these accountants. Whatever they are doing it honestly. They're not making any kind of money out of it, while they could, because ultimately, if you are giving you're giving the cat to take care of the milk and let matlab to leave it there with the cat so that there is nothing happening. But the point is, cat loves milk, human loves cash. Everybody's in need of that. That is why if you'll see, the cashier and the bookkeeping person are two different persons. So basically, either they will all have both have to come up and manipulate the books of accounts, or what will happen is, if both of them are not manipulating it, then one of them, if wants to try, it will not get the partnership of the other person. So definitely for the organization and the people, it can be something where they have to think about it thoroughly. What are we going to do about it? You know? So basically, stewardship accounting was a little risky in this case. Oops. Okay. Here comes the next question that you want. What was the Italian method known as during the 15th century, which forms the basis of modern systematic recording of the business transactions. Financial accounting, joint stock companies, double entry bookkeeping, or stewardship accounting. Stewardship accounting was prevalent in terms of Europa. But when we talk about this area, there is a in the 15th century, what was developed, that was area of double entry bookkeeping. According to him, that is Mr. Fray Luca or Luca Bartolomeo de Peccioli. According to Luca, the double entry bookkeeping was like there for everything we have two aspects. What do you mean by two aspects? They said if you buy something, you also pay for that. Na? There is nothing for free for a business. Even if when it is doing any kind of donation, na, then even it's expecting something from the people. Yeah, sure, I would be having a goodwill, that kind of thing. So double entry bookkeeping can be related to the area of the organization maintaining its books of accounts. And when they're maintaining the books of accounts, they would like to know that what is happening. They said that if you buy, for example, I buy my phone. If I've bought my phone, then I've definitely paid money for that as well. So basically, when you buy something, you will have to give money for that as well. That is a part of double entry bookkeeping. That means for one thing that you buy, you will have to give money as well. So that is everything has two aspects, double entry bookkeeping. Next question. The question says during which phase of accounting evolution did financial evolution did during which phase of accounting evolution did the financial accounting emerge as a response to the large scale business and development of joint stock companies? Joint stock companies did a part of the stewardship accounting, financial cost, or joint stock. These are bigger companies. Joint stock companies are huge companies which are working in this area. So when we talk about joint stock companies, na, they came up when the portion of stewardship was actually over. Stewardship was basically landowners. So then financial accounting was the area where they started working in this way. Then came the manufacturing. That means huge manufacturing was done. That was a time of cost accounting. Because you want to know what does a manufacturer do. You know, that would be covered here. The answer is financial accounting. Okay, so what next do we have? The next point that we have is what legal form does the doctrine of stewardship take in the operations of a company as per the information provided? Stewardship is basically maintaining the books of accounts, annual income statement, balance sheet, disclosure, or Companies Act. It has actually taken a form of Companies Act. What is the format in which we are with the where the companies are going to show their books of accounts? That all is covered there only. Okay. So it is covered in the Companies Act. चलिए, I hope you have reviewed our books of our um, website as well, right? If you look forward towards a JIB in a May 2024 attempt, the batch has just started. So if you would like to go for it, it has just started yesterday. First day, Monday was basically the orientation day. The batch started on Tuesday. So where you can work upon the Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Offices Adda 24/7. My name is Niharika Varya Bhatnagar, and I am with you with the area of JIIB AFM. Okay, so we were talking about the basics of accounting. So when we talk about the basics there, what have we done till now? We have dealt with the basic part earlier. Uh, the questions that I'm dealing with are exclusively from the Macmillan book itself. The content that is given in the book, I'm making questions out of that only, so that means you can be rest assured about the fact that the questions are as per your examination format. So the second thing is that we have just started with the topic, so we are dealing with the first chapter right now. So let's continue further. Okay. So in the topic that we did in class was basics of accounting. This is the chapter number 1 that we are starting with, definition, scope, and the purpose of accounting, and everything is covered in this. Along with this, they are also covering IND-AS, the Indian Accounting Standards, as well as the accounting standards in it. So we would be talking about all that as well in the upcoming classes. Currently, though, I think we are going to talk about the various branches of accounting along with the topic of different types of accounting. So let's proceed further, everyone. The topic here is, what is the primary purpose of income statement in financial accounting? What's the purpose of income statement, everyone? Income statement is a statement which is basically showing what? It's actually an account which shows whether the company has made a profit this year or loss. And an income statement doesn't talk about only income, but it also talks about the expenses that you have incurred in order to earn that income. Right? So that is something which we'll be covering up in this area. So, what would be the answer? Is it going to be disclosing the monetary claims against the firm, indicating the assets were held by the firm, showcasing the profit and loss account of the firm, or limiting the liability of the shareholders? The answer is, it shows the profit and loss during the year, not the past, not the future, but the present of the organization. It shows the profit and loss the company makes during the year. They make a T-shaped kind of account. This is something which we'll be dealing in the upcoming classes. This portion is the side where we write all the incomes, and this is the side which this is to and this is by. This side has all the expenses. If your expenses are more, then you will face a loss. If your expenses are more than your income, when your incomes are more, then you have a profit. Where your profit is more than your sorry, when your income would be more than your expense. If we have more and we have to spend less, obviously in this case the value would be a positive one, right? So what would be the answer? The answer is this only. Chaliye, now let's talk about the next question. Chaliye, let's continue further. We were talking about, in the historical context, what challenge did the Industrial Revolution in England pose to the development of accounting? See, Industrial Revolution in England came way before India, right? So, what is it? It's the need for systematic recording. or emergence of joint stock companies, or development of costing technique, or mobilization of savings? What was the challenge? What challenge did the Industrial Revolution in England pose to the development of accounting? Basically, now when we talk about the challenging area, that was uh, they had to look forward. See, industrialization means they were making things. When you are building something, you would like to know whether building something is costing you what exactly. If they were preparing all these kind of pens, I need to know the value now. I need to know what would be the price of these pens and all. So how do we look forward to it? That is something that the organization will have to see. So what are they going to do about it? That means they would like to know the various development of costing techniques. The answer would be C. Costing technique, since you know what is your manufacturing cost, based upon your manufacturing cost, you will find out your profit or you will find out your loss. Because on the basis of cost, you will make sales, and once you know how to make the sales, then the things will become easier for you. Right? Here comes the next question. What significant social purpose of financial accounting is highlighted in the information provided? Minimizing disclosure requirements, channeling savings into profitable investments, or managing the industrial actions or developing a joint stock companies. What significant social purpose of financial accounting is highlighted in the books that we are making now? So then what do we have? Normally they talk about how to channelize our profitable how to channelize into profitable investments. Basically every organization is praying badly ki Bhagwan, I make some good money, I would like to grow further. So this is what they're looking forward to. They would like to channelize their savings into the profitable businesses. Okay, here comes the next question, everyone. What prompted governments in various countries to extend information disclosure requirements relating to the financial accounting? Companies, directors' willingness, public awareness, development of joint stock companies, or industrial revolution. What was that particular thing that made the governments of the country to extend information disclosure? Information disclosure basically means, for example, I took a loan and made a building. So I would be writing in that particular building itself, this is hypothecated against the bank loan which we have taken. In this case, see, in anybody in the entire world can invest in your company. So everybody wants to know now what exactly our company is, what does it do, you know? So in this case, the answer would be the public awareness. If I am an investor, I am putting my money into a company, I would love to know where the company exactly stands. Till the time I do not know where the company exactly stands, whether it's safe or whether it is good or not for the business or not. So all those things are to be covered in this area. It's investor. Okay. Okay. So let's move on. Next question. What is the primary role of cost accounting in the historical context, especially during the Industrial Revolution? Number one is providing reliable information for investors, guiding management actions, providing joint stock companies, or mobilizing the savings. What would be the answer in this case? Primary role of cost accounting. Cost accounting is basically a branch of accounting which records the manufacturing area. For example, if I manufacture and then sell it. Sorry. So in this case, I would like to know where exactly my business stands now. So see, if I produce say pipes. I produce pipes. I make metal pipes, and after the pipes are made, I have to sell them. So the company head is going to ask me, if I'm in the financial area of the organization, he's going to ask me, ma'am, what is exclusively the cost of producing one pipe? Our production cost, will determine our selling price, because based upon our production cost only we will determine what exactly the organization would do with the selling price of it. Once we know the selling price, the things will get easier. So in this case the answer would be providing reliable information to the investors. That's the particular concern of cost accounting. Then comes guiding the management actions, or developing the joint stock companies, or mobilizing the savings. Cost accounting, the company can actually decide the selling price. That means what is it doing? It is guiding the management to do certain work in a certain manner. So the clarity comes, and that too with the proper reasoning why a specific price should be chosen and what is the price that they have to choose. So that clarity comes because of this scenario itself. So in this case, the correct answer is guiding the management actions. The correct answer would be B, everyone. Next question. What led to the development of cost accounting? Industrial revolution, scientific management movement, information age, or environmental awareness? What would be the answer? Done, everyone? Chaliye, now let's move on. Chaliye, we were talking about the question which says industrial revolution, scientific management, information age, or environment awareness. The answer would be industrial revolution. And acha nahi, the answer would be scientific management movement, though it is actually industrial movement only. But to be very precise, it is scientific management. The scientific management was introduced, and this is something we'll be connecting with the CIB as well. There's a particular person, excuse me, called F.W. Taylor. He was the person who was responsible for the scientific movement, and he used to give a lot of importance to the production area. But at that point of time, the in the industrial area, you will find that it was more producer driven rather than the consumer driven. They were not consumer driven; they were producer driven areas. Acha, now comes the point of what was the primary concern of cost accounting. Historical analysis, then valuation of stock, or control and assessment of cost, or legal regulation compliance. What would it be? What is the primary concern for cost accounting? Why would you do the cost accounting? I would like to do the cost accounting because I would like to know what is the price of the thing. Till the time I don't know the price of the thing, how would I sell it? And if I'm going over the board, I have to reduce the price. If I'm going under the board, I can increase my price, then it would be beneficial for me, because in the next time I'm making this, then my profit would be higher. You know? So in this case, the correct answer would be control and assessment of cost. The cost control talks about reducing the cost, but it doesn't mean at the quality of the other people. So this is where the accounting area works towards it. Okay? So basically, when you are trying to define the cost, then you will have to tell the other person that this is my money, this is the profit that I would like to earn, this is the final selling price that I would like to give to you. More or less, people don't even specify their profit or the cost. What they'll do is, on the basis of that cost, they will determine their selling price. Now, what is the focus of management accounting, everyone? It records the financial transactions, or analyzing historical cost, or formulating the policies and decision making, or legal regulation complete. Acha, management is basically what? Management is looking into the books of accounts and making sure that the things are recorded properly. है ना? So in this case, the entire portion of management accounting is based upon helping the management to take decisions. That is why they literally go to other people as well at times that you collect the information for us. This you will find in many organizations. Matlab, I think there was a specific organization which I audited long back. So that particular area had two kinds of auditors. One was internal, one was external. And at that time too, they used to determine the time at which they would be available and they would be visiting the organization, right? So that is something, these the focus of management accounting is basically formulation and policy making. It is not depend upon anything else. Like this is basically required to make a routine in the business when we are looking forward to it, and when you are answering someone else regarding the utilization of funds, that brings more clarity and less chances of anything that is not good for the organization coming into the organization, because everything has to be counted. Acha. The next question is related to the area of how does management accounting differ from financial accounting? How are they two different? When we talk about management accounting, it talks about the management altogether. The management's price, management money scenario. Management is basically something which is going to talk about the decision making scenario. So obviously they are worried about multiple areas of the organization. So that is something that will do the when we talk about management accounting refers to the accounting which is done by the management to find out what their exact performance is. If they are going good, it's good for them. If they are going bad, then they can be threatened or they can be pointed out by the top level organization. You know, so what does management accounting differ from the final account? Final accounts is purely working upon true and false only. It does not talk about anything else. Okay, so these are different branches. Finance will not take any non-finance person, and then when we talk about the person, it is something that you will find only in terms of management there. For example, if the organization is doing some internal audit and they want to clean their organization, they would like to see into things. So for that particular one day, then the if we talk about the management accounting, their perception of the working would be a little different from that of cricket. But overall both the organizations are having a super smart and healthy um, accounting system, because ultimately what happens is when we are using management accounting now, management accounting is we are sitting with the manager and manager is trying to prove कि देखिए I have made money in the business. He's going to prove himself. While in terms of financial accounting, the organizations are going to prepare only the profit and loss account. Both the organizations would be preparing their net worth and would be trying to find out their exact value in the business. So they say the management accounting is backward looking and financial is forward. Or management accounting is based on legal regulations, while financial accounting is not. Management accounting includes cost accounting and budgeting, while management accounting focuses on financial transactions. Though this is true that you will find more scope in terms of cost accounting. Surprisingly, in our syllabus for JIB, we also have a part of cost accounting as well, and there are different ways of working for cost accounting as well. So, matlab, there are different patterns through which we'll be learning. That is also a practical topic there. ठीक है. So then we have management accounting includes the cost accounting and budgeting, while financial accounting focuses on financial transactions. वैसे तो management accounting is broader. Sometimes it determines the agenda of the final events of the organization. Done. So then is management accounting is concerned with historical data, while financial is based upon future. The financial is never future. It is going to be it is going to be something that is based upon whatever has already happened is recording in financial accounting. So the answer would be C. The management accounting includes cost accounting and budgeting, while financial accounting focus on only and only the financial transaction. And chaliye then. Let's move on and talk about the next question. The next question is, what characterizes the reports for social responsibility accounting? Social responsibility accounting can be stated as when the organization is extraordinarily good. So what will happen with that organization, everyone? So it is making more than 100 CR and they're going really good. For example, Tata does this. They have their own accumulation of corporate social responsibility and it is shared with the people ultimately. So in this case, can we say that social responsibility accounting is basically um, knowing the various the society's norms, their structure, and everything in terms of the social responsibility accounting. They generally follow generally accepted accounting principles, and then the focus solely on it on this area. They are saying in terms of CSR, we are looking forward towards the people who are having economic effect as well. Okay, and then they are free to conceptualize meeting they are free from conceptual framework constraints. That means after a certain period of time now, they specify that when we are making about the social responsibility accounting, then the organization will be able to specify because this is required as per law. And then is there are subjected to legal regulations. These are subjected to legal regulations or not. Social responsibility is mandatory in certain cases but not in all. So technically the in this the answer would be what? Social responsibility accounting. They generally follow the area of generally accepted accounting principles, and then they they focus solely on economic benefits. They're looking forward only towards, see, social responsibility is not about helping the society ultimately now. So in this case, what would be the answer? The answer would be they are generally they're free from conceptual framework concepts. There are certain framework concepts which create hindrance in the I'm sorry, in the corporate social responsibility, and they have to find it value. So they are free from conceptual framework constraints. Acha, next question now. This is reasoning and assertion based, an important question. The management accounting is forward looking. It means that it involves the preparation and presentation of the accounting information to assist the indecisive uh, in decision making. Both assertion and reasoning are true. The reason is a correct explanation of assertion, or both are true, but this is not. But then, in case of this, then we have assertion is true, but the reasoning is false, or the assertion is false, but the answer is true. So this can also happen in the examination that they are giving such confusing questions. Done, everyone? Chaliye. So if you're looking forward, let's end the session here. Huh? Before I end the session, let's look at the answer as well. In this case, both are correct. And reasoning is also correct. Think about it. Management accounting says I look into the higher level of management. That is, it is forward looking. And the reason is if it won't be forward looking, it will never be saying granted. That is grounded towards the organization, or when we talk about the people out there. So that is very, very important for the organization. So in this case, the correct answer would be both are correct. And the reasoning is also correct. Explanation. So basically, management accounting is forward looking. Yes, because we're looking into the future, we are looking into the performance and assuring that we'll be doing that. It involves the preparation or presentation of accounting information. We're going to do that as well through AI. So let's look at our batches. First of all, what are we covering up in our subjects? So let's talk about it. Go on to our website there. Just a moment. Let's go on to our website, that is www.adda247.com. चलिए, now let's look at our website, that is www.adda247.com. And as soon as you go there, you have to go on to the area of JIB and CIB. The JIB May 2024 option is there. Go on to the area of double validity. Right now, double validity is there on the double validity is available on Mahapack. You buy it for 6 months, you get it for 12. You buy it for 12 months, you get for 24. This benefit is available with a good number of there are many classes in JIB, JIB Mahapack, that is recorded batches, current batches, future batches, revision batches, MCQ batches, whatever batch would come up or whatever batches recently ended. All those things are opened up. Then when we talk about this area, this also covers a good number of tests as well. And when we talk about why it is called 2.0, that is because the organization, when we provide this Mahapack 2.0, in this we are covering the 10 plus hours of mini marathon, 5 plus hours of mega marathon. Then we are also providing you practice paper. We are also providing the all the courses which are there, that is in terms of JIB, that is English medium as well as bilingual. Everything is available. So that means all you need to do is click on this, check out the particular validity portion that you would like to have 3 months, 6 months you will get for 12, then that is for 12 months that we will get for 24. You have to click on there of buy now. You have to use the code Y541 and you just have to apply it. So the answer will come out to be 5999. So if you're looking forward to it, then kindly check it out on our website, on our app for further details, everyone. So this will be the price that is available. All you have to do is download our app and you will get additional 1% discount. So kindly check it out on our website, on our app for further details. Till then, we'll be meeting in the next class. Thank you so much.